Emily was just an ordinary 13-year-old girl. She was quiet and kind, always trying her best in school. Teachers liked her because she was smart and polite. She didn't like to draw attention to herself and stayed out of trouble. Most days she walked through the busy school hallways with her head down, hoping to get to class without anyone bothering her. But lately things had changed. For weeks now, a group of older girls had been bullying her. They called her names, pushed her, and whispered mean things behind her back. Emily never told anyone, not even her dad. She thought if she ignored them, they would stop. She wanted to be invisible. That morning, the hallway was crowded with students rushing between classes. Emily was walking toward her locker, clutching her books tight, trying to stay calm. Suddenly she felt a hard shove from behind. One of the older girls, tall and sneering, pushed Emily against the metal locker. The loud clang echoed through the hall. "Watch yourself, loser," the bully said, laughing with her friends. Emily's heart pounded. Usually she would step away and pretend it didn't hurt. But this time, something inside her snapped. She pushed back. She wasn't going to let them treat her like that anymore. A teacher nearby saw the last few seconds. The fight was quick. Emily hitting back, the bully falling to the ground. But the teacher only saw the end and rushed over, shouting for them to stop. Emily's stomach dropped. This was just the beginning of something much bigger than she ever expected. After the fight, Emily was taken to the principal's office. The long walk felt heavier than usual. Her hands shook, and she couldn't catch her breath. Principal Hammond sat behind her big desk, looking serious. "Emily," she said sharply, "we don't tolerate violence at this school. Fighting is against the rules." Emily tried to explain what happened. "She pushed me first. I didn't want to fight. I was just defending myself." But Principal Hammond didn't seem to listen. Instead, she looked at a report the teacher had written. According to it, Emily had started the fight. The bullies had told their side first, and the principal believed them. "I'm suspending you for 3 days," the principal said firmly. "You need to learn to control yourself." Emily's heart broke. She wanted to cry but held it in. How could they think she was the bad one? She didn't want to get in trouble. She only wanted the bullying to stop. At school, rumors started quickly. Some students whispered that Emily was a troublemaker now. The bullies smirked, proud they had gotten away with it. Emily didn't tell her father what happened. She was afraid he would be angry or disappointed. She felt alone. That night, she sat in her room, staring at the wall, trying to understand how things had turned so wrong in just a few minutes. Little did she know, her father was about to step into the school and change everything. That afternoon, Emily's father, Captain James Walker, came to pick her up from school. He was a tall man with a calm voice and eyes that seemed to see everything. He had spent many years in the military, and even though he was retired now, he still carried himself with quiet strength. Emily sat in the car, staring out the window. She didn't say a word. After a few minutes, her father looked at her and asked gently, "What happened at school today, Emily?" At first, she shook her head, not ready to share. But finally the words came out, slow and shaky. "They've been bullying me for weeks," she whispered. "Today one of them pushed me into a locker. I fought back, but the principal suspended me. They say I started it, but I didn't." Her father listened without interrupting. His face didn't show anger or frustration, only deep concern. Emily felt tears sting her eyes. She had been carrying this secret alone for too long. "Thank you for telling me," he said quietly. "You did the right thing by standing up for yourself. I'm proud of you." Emily wiped her tears, surprised by his kindness. She had feared he might be mad. Then, with a serious tone, he said, "Tomorrow, I'm going back to the school. We'll make sure they know the truth. I promise." Emily felt a small spark of hope. For the first time, she believed someone was on her side. Someone powerful enough to protect her. But what her father was about to do next would change everything, in ways neither of them expected. The next morning, Captain James Walker arrived at the school early. He wore a neat suit, his posture straight and confident. The staff knew him as a former military officer, and his calm, strong presence filled the principal's office as soon as he stepped inside. He asked to meet with Principal Hammond and some members of the school board. The principal seemed nervous but tried to act in control. She explained the school's decision to suspend Emily and insisted the punishment was fair. Captain Walker didn't argue. Instead, he quietly pulled out a flash drive from his pocket. I requested the security footage from the hallway where the incident happened, he said calmly. I want you to watch it. The room fell silent. The principal hesitated, then nodded. The video played on the screen. At first, the footage showed the crowded hallway, students moving everywhere. Then, it zoomed in on Emily and the group of older girls. Suddenly, one of the bullies shoved Emily hard against the locker. Emily tried to move away, but the bully pushed again. Only then did Emily push back, defending herself. The principal's face paled. The bully's lies were clear. This changes everything, Captain Walker said quietly. Emily was defending herself. The suspension must be lifted immediately. The school board members whispered among themselves. Principal Hammond looked down, unable to meet their eyes. Captain Walker took a breath and continued. This isn't just about one fight. It's about how bullying is handled here. I know the law, and how schools should protect students. If the school refuses to act, I will take this matter to the authorities and the public. The weight of his words hung heavy in the room. After a long pause, Principal Hammond nodded slowly. You're right, we will remove the suspension and review our policies. Captain Walker stood, his expression serious but satisfied. Good. Emily deserves justice, and so do all students who face bullying. After the meeting, word spread quickly around the school. The truth about what really happened was finally out. The suspension was erased from Emily's record, and the principal promised to improve how the school dealt with bullying. Captain Walker didn't stop there. He worked with the school board to create a new anti-bullying program. It included lessons for students about respect, kindness, and how to stand up safely if they saw bullying happening. Emily felt a weight lift from her shoulders. She wasn't alone anymore. The bullies who had tormented her were watched closely, and many students began to speak up, encouraged by the new rules. Her father's military experience helped him understand the importance of rules and the power of standing firm. He explained to Emily that sometimes, people have to fight unfairness with quiet strength, not anger. But Captain Walker also warned that this was only the beginning. There would be challenges ahead, but Emily was stronger than she knew. Your courage to stand up, he told her, is what saved you. And sometimes it takes someone who believes in you to change the world around you. Emily looked at him and smiled, feeling proud for the first time in weeks. She wasn't just the quiet girl anymore. She was someone who fought back, and won. When Emily returned to school, things were different. The bullies who had made her life miserable were moved to different classes, and teachers kept a closer eye on everyone. Emily wasn't invisible anymore. She was noticed, but in a better way. Other students began to treat her with respect. Some even apologized quietly for not standing up for her before. Emily felt a new confidence growing inside her. She joined the student council and started speaking out about bullying. At first, it was hard to find the right words, but she soon realized her story could help others. She wanted to make sure no one else felt as alone as she had. Her father continued to support her quietly, proud of how she faced everything with bravery. Emily learned that strength wasn't just about fighting back physically. It was about standing tall, being honest, and asking for help when it was needed. The school was changing too. Thanks to Captain Walker's actions, bullying wasn't ignored anymore. Rules were clearer, and students felt safer. Emily's story became a quiet reminder that sometimes, the hardest battles are the ones fought with courage and faith, both in yourself and in those who stand by you. Sometimes strength isn't about shouting the loudest or winning every fight. It's about standing up when no one else does, even when it feels scary and lonely. Emily's story shows that courage can be quiet, like a small spark that grows into a powerful flame. She didn't want to be a fighter, but when pushed too far, she defended herself. And with her father's steady support, she found the truth and justice. This story reminds us all being kind and strong can go hand in hand. Sometimes the people who seem the quietest have the biggest hearts and the strongest protectors. If you or someone you know is facing bullying, remember you are not alone. Speak up, ask for help, and hold on to hope. Because strength isn't loud, it's real.